It was a normal day at the Jun mansion. Jungkook unbuttoned his suit and was going to his room. That's when he heard a voice of something breaking. He widened his eyes and ran to his room and opened the door. There he was standing on his bed. Everything is shattered around the room. The pillows torn apart and the feathers are flying around. Jungkook poked his cheek and shouted to you. Jungkook, get out of my room. Hearing his yell, your mom and his stepmom, Mrs. Jan, came inside the room. Mrs. Jan, Jungkook, my dear, don't shout at her. Jungkook, look what she done to my room. Mrs. Jan, she don't know anything and look how scared she is now. Don't scold her. Jungkook, I don't know why you're being nice to her. She's always giving me headache. You came and stood near your mom, Soyoung. Soyoung, sorry sir, she will never do this again. Jungkook, lie. Mrs. Chan, okay, that's enough. Everyone, let's go from here. And Soyoung sent someone to clean the room. Soyoung, okay, ma'am. Mrs. Chan and Soyoung left. You was about to go, but you yelled at him. He looked at you dumbfounded. But you smiled cheekily and left. Jungkook shook his head. Jun Jungkook, the CEO of Jun Enterprise, the eldest son of Jun family. Jungkook is known as for his coldness. Everyone is afraid to talk to him. He's a hard guy to approach. Jungkook's mom died when he was 2. After that, Mr. Jun married Jungkook's stepmom Chohee. She was like other stepmoms first. She didn't like Jungkook. When Jungkook was 3, his stepbrother was born. Chohee never took care of Jungkook, but when he turned 12, Chohee became good and saw him as her own son. About Mr. Jun, well, he never cared about anyone. He's always out. Honestly, Jungkook don't even remember his dad's face. Jungkook loves his stepmom and brother. They too love him. The only person he kinda hates is you. You are Choi Wayan. You are a childish girl. Your mom is the maid at John Mansion. Well, it's been only 6 months your mom started to work at John. You always come at John Mansion with your mom. First, Jungkook was in cold with you, but 2 days later he started to hate you. He finds you annoying, but Mrs. Chan likes you so much, and he always wonders why. She says you are an innocent girl. Jungkook changed his clothes and went out. The maids came to clean his room. He went into the living room. He saw Mrs. Chan feeding you ice cream. He rolled his eyes. Mrs. Chan, Jungkook son, do you need ice cream? No mom, I don't need now. Mrs. Chan, okay. Jungkook went out to the garden. At the garden, Jungkook sat down on the bench. He took his phone out and started to use it. After some time later, someone came and sat near him. He looked at the person and it was you. Jungkook, what you want? Wine, ice cream. You show him the ice cream. Jungkook, I don't need it. Wine, please for me. Jungkook, I told you I don't need it. Go away. You pout and try to make him eat, but he pushed you and you fell down. His eyes widened. You started to cry. Jungkook, hey, don't cry. I don't mean to push you. Vayan, you are bad. You was crying. Suddenly he picked you up in bridal style. You immediately put your hands around his neck and moved close to his chest. He took you inside and made you sit on the couch. Jungkook, sorry for pushing you and don't disturb me anymore. He left you. You cheekily smiled at yourself and went to take another ice cream. Time skip. Next day at Jungkook's cabin. Jungkook was going through his files. That's when his secretary enters the cabin. Secretary, Mr. John, there is something wrong in the data. Jungkook, is that so? Give me the file. Secretary gave him the file and he looked through it. Jungkook, we had a loss of 20 million. But how? There is no data about this. Secretary, I checked through all but couldn't find. Jungkook, keep looking and make sure this won't happen again. Keep an eye on everything. Secretary, I will, sir. Time skip at a lunch break. It was time for lunch. Jungkook stretched his arms. That's when his cabin door opens, revealing you and Mrs. Chan. Jungkook, Mom, he stood up. Mrs. Chan, my son, we went shopping and thought to see you and also let's have lunch together. Jungkook, okay mom, but why is she here? Mrs. Chan, the shopping was for Vayan. She needs new clothes. All her old clothes are not good. Jungkook, you are too good to her. Don't be like this. Mrs. Chan, I like her and she's a good girl. Jungkook, whatever. He looked at you, who was looking around the cabin. That's when Mrs. Chan's phone rings. Mrs. Chan, I need to attend this call. Jungkook nods and she left. Jungkook came near you. Jungkook, go and sit there. Why, no, I want to see all. Jungkook, there is nothing to see, and if you don't sit, the ghost in my office will hunt you. Why, there is a ghost here? Jungkook, yes, there is. Now go. You became scared and immediately sat down on the couch and hugged your knees. Jungkook went back to his work. He looked at you time to time. Somewhere he found you cute. After some time, Mrs. Chan came back. Mrs. Chan, Jungkook, I need to go somewhere immediately, so please take care of Bayan and take her home after lunch. Jungkook, but mom, Mrs. Chan, I'm sorry, son, it's an important work. Jungkook, okay. Mrs. Chan smiles and came near you. Mrs. Chan, be a good girl. Jungkook will be with you. I am leaving now. See you at home. Vayan, okay, she left. Jungkook came near you. Jungkook, now come, let's have lunch. Vayan, okay. You happily stood up and he started to walk, but you hold his hand and looked at him with your puppy eyes. Jungkook, you captive everyone by this, right? Whatever, let's go. You both started to walk, and you was holding his hand. Olympus was looking at you both, and was shocked to see their boss with a girl, and that too like you. Time skip. At the restaurant, Jungkook brought a seat for you. Jungkook, sit here. You sat down and he sat opposite to you. He started to look through the menu. Jungkook, what do you want to eat? Bayan, yummy pizza. Jungkook, pizza? No, no. He chuckles. Jungkook ordered something proper meal and after some time it arrives. Jungkook, dig in. He started to eat but you was just looking at the food and was blinking your eyes. You was at the verge of crying. Jungkook looked at you. Jungkook, what happened? Why are you not eating? You looked at Jungkook and he saw your teary eyes. That's when it clicked him. You always eat food with help of your mother or someone else. Today you are here alone. Jungkook, hey, don't cry. I will feed you. And he came and sat near you and started to feed you the food. You smiled at him. Surprisingly, he smiles back. After having lunch, he took you to the park. At the park, Bayan, park, I love park. You jump around and kiss his cheeks. He was shocked and looked at you, but you smiled at him. Jungkook, now you can go and play. I will be here and don't go anywhere without me. Bayan, okay. Jungkook sat on the bench and was looking at you. You looked around and saw a bunch of kids playing, so you went near him. Bayan, I also want to play. Boy 1, we are going to play hide and seek. You can join us. Bayan, thank you. But suddenly some women came there and they are the kids' parents. Woman 1, who are you? Bayan, I am Bayan. Woman 2, you cannot play with our kids. Go away. Bayan, I want to play. Woman 3, can't you hear? We said no. Not let our kids play with some ill person. Go away. And she pushed you, but someone catch you, and it was Jungkook. Tears was falling from your eyes. You hugged him and he glared at those ladies. Jungkook, keep your mouth shut and don't ever speak to her like this. We don't want to play with your kids. What if you ladies do something to her? After all, you are monsters. Well, they didn't say anything back, cause they know who is Jungkook. Jungkook, don't cry. I am here with you. We can play together. Ryan, you will play with me? Jungkook, yes, I will. You suddenly kiss his cheeks and he blushed. Ryan, I like you. He chuckles. Jungkook, okay. Do you want ice cream? Ryan, ice cream. Yes, I want it. Jungkook, sit here. Don't go anywhere. I will go and buy ice cream. Ryan, I'm a good girl. I will not go anywhere. Jungkook patted her head and left to buy ice cream. Jungkook went and brought ice cream. When he came back, you was there. He smiled looking at you. He came and sat down near you and gave you ice cream. You smiled at him and you both had ice cream. After some time later, Jungkook, let's go home now. Ryan, okay. Time skip. Next day at Jungkook's room. Jungkook spoke. I was sleeping, but suddenly I heard a sweet voice and someone touching my face. I slowly opened my eyes and saw Ryan. Her face was so close to me. She smiled when she saw I opened my eyes. Ryan, good morning. Jungkook, good morning. Jungkook sat straight. Why are you here in the early morning? Ryan, I want to play with you. Jungkook, in the early morning. Yes. Now let's play. Jungkook, okay. Jungkook's Pooh. I hated her first, but I don't know when I changed. She's cute. I'm starting to like her. He shook his head and fresh up. After some time, he came out wearing a towel. Well, he didn't take his clothes and he saw you sitting on the bed and looking at him. He panicked. Bayan. Jungkook is here without dress. Hee hee. You laugh. He chuckles and left you to get dressed up and came back. Jungkook, let's go and have breakfast and we will leave to hang out. Bayan, okay. At the dining room, Jungkook sat down to have breakfast and you sat on the side of Jungkook and saw him feed you. After having breakfast, you and Jungkook left. At Texas Mall, you and Jungkook arrived at the mall. Jungkook, do you want any new dress? Vayan, Andy brought me so many yesterday. Jungkook, oh, that's right. What about toys? Vayan, I love toys. Smiles. Jungkook, okay, then let's go. You and Jungkook entered a store and you were so excited to see many toys. You jump around. Jungkook, buy anything you want. Vayan, okay. You looked around and took all the toys you like. Jungkook finished? Vayan, yes. He looked at the cart and saw only three toys. Jungkook, only this much? Vayan, my mom told me not to use others' money so much. Jungkook, but I'm not other. I'm your friend, right? Vayan, yes, you're my friend. Jungkook, I will buy you some more. You smiled cutely at him and he pinched your cheeks softly and later brought many toys and dresses too. Time skip. You love parks. So after shopping, Jungkook took you to the park. At the park, Bayan, I want to swing. Come with me and push me. Jungkook, okay. You ran to the swing and sat down. Jungkook came and pushed you slowly. Bayan, faster. Jungkook, okay, okay. He pushed you a little faster. You was enjoying it so much and was giggling all the time. Jungkook was smiling, looking at you. Time skip at home at Jungkook's room. Jungkook was laying on the bed and was watching a movie on his TV. That's when the door opens and you enter the room. Jungkook looked at you. Jungkook, what happened? Boyan, I want to be with you. Jungkook, oh okay, come and have a seat. You came and sat near Jungkook and side hugged him. He got shocked but melted at your hug. Jungkook continued to watch the movie, but after some time, when he looked at you, you were sleeping. He slowly stood up and took you on his arms and left to your room. At your room, he made you lay down on your bed and was about to go, but he held him off his shirt. He was holding it so tightly. He didn't want to wake you up, so he slowly lay down with you and admired you. He don't know when he fell asleep. Next day morning, when Jungkook opened his eyes, he saw you. You and Jungkook was hugging each other. He smiles and kissed your forehead and get up and left to your room. Like this, you and Jungkook become close to each other. He started to develop feelings for you. 1 month later, Jungkook was at his office working on some files. That's when he got a call on the call. Man, sir, we got the details and your doubt is right. Jungkook, okay. He cut the call and threw the phone on the ground. I will end everyone, he screams. Time skip at home. Jungkook entered the house and saw you sitting in the living room with Mrs. Chan and John Simbo, Jungkook's brother. Jungkook, you're home after so long. How was your studies? Sivo, it was good, bro. Jungkook, okay, I will go and fresh up now. He left and you followed him. At the room, Vayan, can we play today? Jungkook, can you please leave me alone? Vayan, you said we will play today. Jungkook, I'm not playing with you anymore. Vayan, you hate me. You blink your eyes. Tears was about to fall. Jungkook, can you please stop and leave me alone? I said no. Can you understand it? He yelled at you, and you started to cry. Seeing your tears, he felt a pain in his heart, but he was so angry that he didn't mind your tears and threw away at the wall. You flinched and ran away from there. Mrs. John and others came there. Mrs. John, son, what happened? Jungkook, nothing, mom, just leave me alone. And I had some problems in the office, that's why. Mrs. Chan, I hope everything's alright. You take rest. Jungkook, I will, mom. Everyone left. Timescape. Next day. Jungkook got ready and went downstairs. He saw you waiting for him at the dining room, but he didn't came to have breakfast. He decided to go to the company without having breakfast, but you saw him and called him. Why? Jungkook, he ignored you and started to walk, so you stood up and ran behind him. On the way, you tripped and fell down. Jungkook stopped on his track and looked at you, but he didn't help you. He ignored you and left. You glared at him. Like this, Jungkook started to ignore you and started to be rude with you, like all the times. Whenever he sees you, he shouts. Timescape. 2 weeks later. Tomorrow a party is going to happen at John Mansion. Jungkook won the Best Businessman award, so there is a party for it. Jungkook was at the living room, checking about everything. That's when you slowly come with a cup of juice. But unfortunately, you tripped and the juice fell on Jungkook. He immediately stood up and shouts at you. Jungkook, what's your problem? Why are you ignoring me? You shouted at him. He looked at you. You wasn't talking cutely or anything. Your voice was normal and you shouted for the first time. Jungkook, so my ignorance is affecting you, huh? Vayan, I want to play with you. You said sadly. He ignored you and walked away. You glared at him. Timescape at night at a storage room. You and someone else was having a chat there. You know the plan, right? Tomorrow's party is the golden opportunity. Vayan, I know, don't worry. I will make use of this. Good. You and the unknown person left from there. Timescape at the party. Everyone was enjoying the party. Jungkook was talking with some guests. That's when he saw you coming downstairs wearing a beautiful purple gown and you looked stunning. Jungkook watched you struggling to walk with that dress. You was in the verge of crying. So he decided to come near you. Jungkook's poo. I don't want anyone to laugh at her, so I decided to go and make sure she's okay and make her sit somewhere. I was walking towards her. That's when I tripped on something and fell on her. Our lips touched. I tried to get up, but she pulled me closer and we literally kissed. But outsiders will think I'm forcefully kissing her. So I immediately stood up and helped her to stand up. The party went smoothly. Jungkook was avoiding you all the time throughout the party. Time skip. Next day. At the living room. Jungkook. What happened, mom? Mrs. Chan. Look at this. She gave Jungkook a tablet. And an article was there. And it was about yesterday's kiss. It was written that the most successful and young businessman Jung Jungkook is forcing himself and enjoying an accidental kiss from a childish girl. Never thought Jung Jungkook is a man like this. Jungkook was speechless. Jungkook, it wasn't like this. I wasn't forcing me on her. Jungkook, now what will I do? How can I convince them? Mrs. Chan, marry Wayan. Jungkook, what? Mrs. Chan, we have no other way. Announce that you and Wayan is going to get married. So kissing your fiancé is not a problem. Jungkook, but how can I marry her? You are sitting on the couch and was playing with the toys. On the call, secretary, sir, reporters are making a fuss here. Jungkook, I will be there soon. Arrange a press conference. Secretary, okay, sir. Call end. Mrs. Chan, we cannot handle the media. Jungkook, fine, I will marry her. I have told to arrange a press conference. Soon, I will announce the marriage and will make myself clear. Mrs. Chan, my son, she hugs Jungkook and break it. Jungkook glanced at you and left to the company. Time skip at the press conference. Everyone seated and the press conference started. Reporter 1. Mr. Chan, please make yourself clear if there is any misunderstanding. Jungkook. There is misunderstanding. It was clearly an accident. And I don't think I was forcing myself on my soon to be wife. Reporter 2. What? Jungkook. Everyone heard it right. I'm going to get married. Like that, your and Jungkook's marriage got fixed. Jungkook was completely cold to you. Well, you tried your maximum to make him melt, but he didn't, and 1 week went in the speed of light. At the venue, Jungkook's poo. The door opens, revealing the most beautiful moment. Wyan. She looked so gorgeous in that white gown. I love her. I don't know when but I fell in love with her, but I will not show my love to her. I have my reasons to be rude and ignore her. Your Pooh. Today's my marriage and I'm going to marry Jungkook. I'm not a childish girl. I came in Jungkook's life with a mission. Mission to kill him. I'm a mafia, a secret mafia. But in the process of acting childish, I fell in love with him. At first, he was rude with me and I hated him, but slowly he became good. Jungkook decided to move out to a new house and it will be only you and him. You and Jungkook said bye to everyone and left to the new house. Well, Mrs. John didn't like the fact Jungkook got a new house. At home, Jungkook helped you to get inside the room. You guys are sharing a room. You are afraid to sleep alone. Jungkook, now here it's you and me only, so don't expect me to help you always. Learn to do things properly. Bayan, okay. Jungkook, now go and get changed. I will change in another room. And he left. After like 2 hours, Jungkook came back and saw you sleeping. Jungkook's poo. She must be tired. Jungkook came and sat near you and touched your cheeks and pat your head. And he off the lights and lay down. After some time later, you opened your eyes and made sure he is sleeping. You moved closer to him and hugged him and slept. Next day morning, Jungkook opened his eyes and saw you. You both was hugging each other. He slowly removed your hands and stood up and freshed up and went downstairs to make breakfast. Jungkook spoke. I was almost done making breakfast. That's when I saw Wyan coming downstairs, rubbing her eyes. She smiled at me, but I didn't smile. Jungkook, breakfast is ready. Are you eating now? Wyan, yes, I'm hungry. Jungkook, okay, have a seat. I will arrange everything. You sat down and Jungkook gave you breakfast. Jungkook, eat by yourself. Wyan spoke. Acting as a childish girl is hard. I'm not going to kill him, but I need to tell all the truth to him. I don't know how will he react. Time skip at midnight. It was 2 a.m. You slowly stood up and looked at Jungkook, who was sleeping so peacefully. You slowly left the room before going. You took your secret phone from your bag and went into the guest room. Jungkook spoke. I opened my eyes and I know she will do something like this. And I was waiting for this moment. I went into guest room and saw she talking in the phone. I switched the lights on. She flinched and turned around and looked at me. You're Pooh. I was talking with someone. That's when the light went on. I flinched. I immediately turned around and saw Jungkook and the phone fell from my hand. Jungkook, who looked like your act is being caught? Wyan, how? Jungkook, do you think I'm a fool? The first time I saw you, I had doubts. That's why I was rude at you. But in the middle somewhere, I fell for your act. Wyan, you know everything now. Jungkook, now aren't you going to kill me? Wyan, no. Jungkook, and why? Wyan, because I fell in love with you. I don't know when, how, but I did, and I was going to say all the truth. Jungkook, you love me? Wyan, yes I do. Jungkook, but if you are not going to kill me, then why did you marry me? Jungkook, I know it. I have always doubted her love for me. And later I found out she killed my mom so that she can marry my dad. She is doing all this to get all my properties. She wanted power and I have it. If I'm no more, everything will be hers. Wyan, you know everything. Jungkook, yes, I know everything. And her over love for you, it made me doubt you more. Jungkook, well, who said I want to divorce you? I fell in love with you too. And I love you. He came near you, and there is something you don't know. Wayne, what? He pulled you closer to him. Jungkook, I'm JK, the most dangerous mafia. Time skip. You and Jungkook is laying on the bed. Wayne, now what are you going to do? Jungkook, you will kill me. Wayne, what? Jungkook, yes. Next day, you call Mrs. John. Wayne, I'm going to kill him tonight. Mrs. John, really? Wayne, yes, I cannot live anymore with him. Mrs. John, good. Wayne, at my basement. I will bring him there. Mrs. John spoke. Today the jungle will end and everything will be mine. Mine only. She laughs. Time skip. At the basement. Mrs. John spoke. I entered the basement and the first thing I saw was a tied up Jungkook. His eyes were closed. I looked at Wyan. Wyan, you are here. Look at him. Mrs. Chan. I was waiting for this moment for my whole life. Mrs. Chan, yes, I'm sending you near your mom. Look how lucky you are. I killed my best friend, Akka, your mom, and now I'm killing her son. Ha ha ha, this is so fun. Jungkook, you, I will kill you. Mrs. Chan, shut up. She came near Jungkook and slapped him. Jungkook, you are over. They took her to end her. Jungkook looked at you and you both hug each other. Bayan, everything is finished. Jungkook, yes. Bayan, and I'm sorry. Bayan, don't be. Everything was for good. A new life journey begins here, and it's just you and him only.